I will be doing number 24 for chapter 3. In this problem, you were already given a diagram, but I went ahead and drew one as well. Now, you were originally given that the initial velocity in the x direction is 18 meters per second, and that would be equal to the final velocity in the x direction as well. And you would know that there is an acceleration of 0 meters per second squared. Now, for the y direction, you were given that there is an initial velocity of 0 meters per second, and you should know that there is an acceleration of negative 9.8 meters per second squared. It is also shown that there is a displacement of negative 50 meters. Now, to start off the problem, I will be using the equation that I have written below. Final velocity squared equals initial velocity squared plus 2a change in y, because this is for the y direction. By plugging in the values that I have listed in the chart above, you will get that the final velocity is equal to negative 31.3 meters per second. Now, using this information, you could solve for the time. To solve for the time, I will be using the formula final velocity equals initial velocity plus acceleration multiplied by change in time. By plugging in the values, including the final velocity that we found earlier in the step before, you will see that there is a change in time that is equal to 3.19 seconds. Now for the next part of the problem, you have to find the degree. I have went ahead and drawn a triangle on the right side which represents the diagram you will be using for this part of the problem. Knowing that for the x direction's final velocity, it is equal to 18 meters per second, so you could go ahead and label that part of the triangle. Now for the next part, you will know that the y direction's final velocity is negative 31.3 meters per second. Now using these, you could use the tangent of theta and find that the theta equals negative 60.09 degrees. For the next part of the problem, you're going to have to find the speed. To do this, you're going to do the square root of the final velocity in the x direction squared added to the final velocity in the y direction squared. By doing the square root of this, you should get 36.1 meters per second. So overall in this problem, you got that the change in time equals 3.19 seconds, and there is a speed of 36.1 meters per second, negative 60.09 degrees below the positive x-axis.